family, my dad, he fixed air conditioners and delivered newspapers. And then when I was young, I was with him in diapers, delivering newspapers with him. And I was so small that they could just put me on the dashboard of the van that they would deliver the papers from. When I got older, we did more air conditioning stuff. And in Florida, that's a really hard job because it's very hot. And when they call you, you're going someplace where the AC is broken. That's why you're being called there. So you're working in places where the AC is broken. You're climbing up into the attic where it's full of fiberglass. There's nails sticking through the roof. If you sit up too high, you're getting a nail in the back. And you've only got one light. And if it gets unplugged, you can't see anything. And no one can hear you when you scream for help because if fiberglass insulation absorbs all the sound. So I have some of those same traits that my dad has, and that I'm super social. They're designed to be the pinnacle of their field.
Hi there, everybody, and welcome to Hex Token channel, Superman Crypto, and of course Pulsechain YouTube. And of course, we're going to be talking about a lot of the things that Richard Hart has developed, and of course the pinnacle of crypto. So I hope you guys enjoy it. We're going to get into it today. I really love that little clip of Richard Hart there, a really personal piece and quite inspirational as well. All right, let's see who's in the house. We got Magic Carpenter in the house. Yo, 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 yo. Yes, we will be talking about Stakehouse, one of their protocols. I would add Magic Carpenter to one of the ecosystems dropping. That means that they've got multiple protocols. So we're going to get into all that too. Big welcome to Magic Carpenter. Sandy Beach, of course, leading the way in the Pulsechain X community with health and fitness represent. And there's her daily inspirational with a bit of Michael Jackson, a bit of MJ. And I really like that. I retweeted that straight away. So very, very cool. I won a dance competition as Michael Jackson. And shocked everybody. So that was pretty awesome. What else we got going on there? We got Check My Pulse. Good evening, Hex Token family. Good to see you in the house. We got Craig Pitt as well. Morning Superman and PLS. Good to see you, Craig. Hi, everybody from Sandy Beach. Creepy Coin in the house there. Hello, everyone. Good to see you, Creepy Coin. We got Joe Torres in the house, and we got Archie as well, both crushing it in the chat there. Crypto Dan as well. Hi, guys. Hope it all is well. I think things are pretty good. Things are pretty good indeed. Shana says the king. Yoo-hoo! Definitely Richard Hart really leading the way there. Adam as well. Adam Chadwick. Hello, hello. Good to see you. Ivor's in the house there. Big shout out to you. And yes, Magic Carpenter, of course, is amazing. And a big shout out to them again. Pumpkin Owl. Hello, all. Good to see you, Pumpkin Owl. Big representing. We're going to get into it, folks. We're going to do a lot of market updates. We will be covering a few of the secrets, as you know, the roadmap of what's been rolling out, some of the alpha in crypto. So stay tuned for that. And of course, we're going to be talking about probably a little general chat about some of the secrets they're going to pump a Pulsechain during the live stream. So wait for that. And of course, we're going to be talking about 9-inch updates, Stakehouse update, and Coast updates. So 9-inch is a DEX, of course. Stakehouse, of course, is a Hex staking pool, which with some new features in it. So really cool. And of course, Coast is the fiat on-ramp to Pulsechain direct to CST stablecoin. So all of them are pretty important projects. So I hope you guys enjoy the content today. Let's see here. We've got Richie as well. Good night from the Netherlands, Superman and Pulse community. Good night to you, Richie. Thanks for dropping in there. And what is that? Is that a pink heart? Is it? Pink heart? I think that is. Nice one, Sandy Beach. All right, let's go. Let's go. And of course, let me add in. Do you like this night, the Hex night? I think it looks pretty damn good. Let's have a look here. Let's see. Gonna add the studio. Share screen. Should we do that? I think so. Make sure I'm on the right page to start. Of course, we're gonna get started with the stock market and the markets, and go from there very quickly. We're gonna jump through all the highlights. That's this cool thing. You don't have to watch anything else. You'll get all the highlights here in maybe half an hour to an hour and 15, depending on how long we go. We got the S&P 500 climbs as the focus shifts to the Fed meeting, which is tomorrow, and we're going to talk about that. And of course, we've got the Dow Jones is up again today, and really nice gains as well. Not as strong as yesterday, but very, very nice. And we like the strong markets leading into Christmas because we're looking forward to, at the very least, a mini Bitcoin or a mini crypto run, a bull run into the Christmas and into the new year as well. Why not? A good 9 months, maybe even longer. Who knows? It's going to be a lot of fun there. We always know the bear markets are much longer than the bull markets, so we wait patiently, and then we really enjoy and enjoy the bull market, take some profits and all that good stuff. So we've got Dow Jones there is up 0.4%, 124 points to 33,000. So we're back over 33, which is really cool. The S&P 500 is up 0.65%, 27 points up to 4,193. Now, I always remind you every day of this, but FundStrat fund manager Tom Lee has estimated or projected a 4,800 on the S&P 500. So that's quite a bullish run into the end of the year. Obviously, last week there was a bit of setbacks. This week it seems to be going in the right direction. NASDAQ, of course, is up 0.5%, 61 points to 12,851. That's got all the tech companies in it. And there's been mixed results in the performances as they've been reported recently as we're in reporting season. The US dollar there is up 0.6%, up to 106.56. So that's a nice little gain back there on the US dollar versus its trading partners. And of course, US dollar, the reserve currency, still in the world. And, we won't get into that topic. We've got Brent oil at the moment. Brent oil is down 1%, 1.2%, and West Texas down 1.26%. Oh, actually, there I just flipped that up into the positive. So we've got West Texas there at $81 and Brent oil there at $85. So they've definitely come out down over the last month. You can see that we've had quite a lot of volatility, but definitely we're off these highs of $89 and back at the beginning of the month, $91. So down to 81. So we've lost $10 since the beginning of the month, which is good news for inflation, good news for you at the pump, especially if you're in the United States. Let me know in the chat there what a gallon of petrol will cost you in the United States right now. Let us know in the chat there what a gallon of petrol is in the United States. Now, in New Zealand, of course, and other places, particularly in former British Empire countries like Australia, New Zealand, places we use a litre. So I think it's 2.2 liters per gallon. You can let me know if I'm wrong about that, something like that. So cool. We got gold at the moment. It's pretty flat at $1,992. We're over, I think we were about $2,000 yesterday. And of course, people are still targeting 3,000. They're getting pretty bullish on gold as they are on crypto, right? Silver there is pretty flat there at $22.94. And as I always say, people are expecting potentially a 5x on silver, but only if the Fed pivots. And maybe that's going to happen middle of next year at the earliest. We will see how that goes. So let's have a look at some of the news that we had out. Consumer confidence falls. So you know that 2/3 of the US economy, maybe up to 70% of the US economy is consumption. It is the big consumer of the world. And of course, the high incomes, disposable incomes have allowed that. Obviously, they have some challenges across the board, as we won't talk about since we're not generally a political channel, although every so often I'll do a little rant about that. We got consumer confidence falls for the third month in a row. And a Fed decision and focus. So if you've got consumers, they've been spending a lot of their savings, and of course, being hit by relatively high inflation and other issues in the market, and then you've suddenly got your consumer confidence starting to fall. Arguably, that's going to push back the demand and therefore lower inflation as well. Consumer confidence in October fell for the third straight month, although the decline was less than economists had expected as inflation concerns continue to grow. Write-in responses showed that consumers continue to be preoccupied with rising prices in general. And I guess you guys at home can relate to this for groceries and gasoline prices. So let's see if anyone actually responded to my call out for petrol prices. Let's see here. I think we've got a couple. We've got Hexel One says it's $3.85 US in Arizona per gallon. All right, so we'll take that. And a big shout out to J Pond in the house there. Morning. Check my pulse says it's $3.79 a regular unleaded in Massachusetts. And what else we got? We got another one there. We got Archie says 1 gallon, 4 quarts, 1 quart. Okay, so what's that? 4 liters then? 4 liters. All right, thanks for the correction there. I don't know. My 2.2 must have been kilograms to pounds. Is that right? Yeah, pounds to kilo. I think that was the 2.2. All right, it was there, but just associated with the wrong measure. We got John Neese as well. California Central Valley regular. I like how you put out the full words. It's pretty cool. $5.49 to $5.99. Is that because you guys are next to the port? Is that right? The refinery or something? Is that where some of the refineries are? Maybe that's why it's so much cheap. Oh, it's more expensive actually. I just realized. That's probably okay. So no, it's the opposite. So maybe it's because you're in California and you're getting taxed the heck out of by that Gavin Newsom guy that the fascist that's running California. What do we got? I just paid $3.84 per gallon, says Archie. There we go. Well, it looks like we've got most places around $3.80 in the United States, in the middle of the United States, I think so. And we got about $5 to $6 in California. Unbelievable, that state. Man, oh man, oh man. But hey, look, they voted him back in, didn't they? All the crazy Democrats like to punish themselves constantly, and everybody else for that matter. Ivor says, you think petrol is expensive? I just bought a bottle of water for $7.50 for a litre. That's a good perspective. Well, we did say food, and we said food, and I guess water's in that, and gasoline. So no surprises there. And Ivor says a coffee for $6.50 for 2 mouthfuls, says Ivor. That's pretty funny. All right, let's move on. The news comes just hours ahead of the Fed 2-day meeting, which is expected to culminate in an unchanged decision on the interest rates, and we're going to look at that quickly. So let's go to federal funds rate and have a look at the meeting. So this is coming up. How quickly? 18 hours, folks, in 17 minutes. Woohoo! So we will cover this tomorrow. I know that Rags to Riches will cover this as well. He likes to cover the Fed, so he'll probably do it live because it comes out normally when he is streaming. So you'll probably get content about that from both him and myself. We got the federal expecting a no change. Remember, 5.5% should stay the same, and but we have flipped here a little bit there. We've got 1.9% expecting a rate hike. I don't think we're going to get it. And what was inflation last time we reported? 3.7%. Remember, it got as high as last year, up to 9.1. So it's definitely down from that. So looking at December, we've got 25% expecting a rate hike of 25 basis points. Sorry. Most people are still seeing a no change in December as well, which still leaves us set up pretty nicely for stock market, crypto, and of course Pulsechain, pulse gains, and that's what we care about really the most. So that is pretty much it at the moment. Moving to crypto, BDC is at $34,647, up slightly. This is looking really good, isn't it? Really probably cooling off the RSI. I'm not sure if Brenton's in the chat there, but yeah, if anyone's got the RSI on the daily on Bitcoin, let us know in the chat there where that is, what number it is. Is it 50? Is it 70? Is it 30? Let us know. Probably pretty high on that top end, but let us know. It has been cooling off in this range between 33 and 34, which is good because it sets us up for a chance to go to another move higher. So the market seems to be cooling off for that. Let's see if that plays out. We got Ethereum there at $1,814. The big mover again today is Solana, up 10% to $38.25. I know that Christian was trying to get into that. Christian was in Discord trying to get into all that stuff. So that is kind of the highlight there. We got Tana's up 5% as well, $2.22. That's pretty much it. Otherwise mixed across the board. So looking good. And of course, we're waiting for Bitcoin to make another leg up. I think if we get that another leg, maybe we go 37, 38, and maybe we go to over 40. Maybe they power us over 40, which would be very bullish indeed. Then we might get ETH finally moving, and we might get ETH over 2,000, and then of course get an altcoin bull run start to happen. We start getting some really nice gains in all the prices and altcoins, including of course our favorite Pulsechain, where it's super cheap to do stuff. I don't know if you've been over on Ethereum, man. It's frustrating, man. But especially if you're going to go farming and you got to enable and approve and stake, and if you want to compound, you got to do some more stuff, and it's all expensive. This starts adding up, and you go, oh my god, what a waste of capital. It's just going to the miners and stuff. So yeah. All right, so let's move on from there. That is Bitcoin. Let's go deep dive into Bitcoin. And this is the Bitcoin chart. Look at that. Woo-hee-hee. Let's get rid of the overlays. That is Bitcoin in all its beauty, looking really good. We had a golden cross back here, and boy, is it playing out very nicely. We love the taste of gold, and of course, Pulsechain gold. So there we are. That is looking good. And of course, we're going to put over the overlay there. This is our roadmap. This is the secret sauce to help you get an idea of how bullish the market is at the moment. And we're going to scroll this all the way up here to the Bitcoin halving. And look at this thing looking really, really good. We got our window of opportunity, of course, here, which is probably going to get extended out to the end of the year. So just keep a lookout for that. We had Ethereum ETFs. We had the Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, get replaced by Mike Johnson. And that was bullish for me. And then we've got budget stopgap measures probably going to get extended until the 17th of January if the Speaker of the House ends up getting that outcome, which is in here. So that's going to be okay. I think we'll be fine moving past this because we already know we've got a default date potentially of the 17th of January, and therefore that should be non-event. So what do we got? We've got leadership, non-event. We now have a leader in the Congress. Budget will probably either get done, single bills, and get done, and of course possibly a short-term extension to the 17th of January, but they're looking for a permanent solution, which I think is cool. Federal meeting, expecting no changes on both meetings. However, the outlook statement will be important coming out tomorrow. And of course, a BTF approval. Could we have it as soon as mid-December? Of course, Galaxy and Michael Novogratz was teasing us about that. And of course, we've had BlackRock CEO also shoot the biggest thing in talking about crypto and being a quality asset. So really excited about that. So bullish there. And then of course, we've got the Bitcoin halving coming up 17th of April. So looking good, folks. And look at where Bitcoin is at the moment. So look, this is the biggest time for crypto. The opening up of Bitcoin ETFs and the cash capital flow. Now, could there be a little sell-off on the news once we start getting that approved? Sure. But I think that still opens us up into a very long rise up in crypto and Bitcoin and Pulsechain. So I think that's going to be bullish, even if there's a little sell the news event. I think the market wants to take Bitcoin up and away. We're going to see how high. So let's have a look at the Bitcoin news. We got another here price prediction. Bitcoin could hit 150,000 by 2025, predicts Bernstein. Now, remember, this is the same as several other analysts have all picked up 150 as the target for the next run. Now, remember, this is an estimation. They're always wrong, pretty much, most of them at least. And we also know that FundStrat's Tom Lee is also around 150 to 180K for the Bitcoin run. So leading in, possibly starting the end of this year, running through next year, and then, of course, into 25. Now, remember, that we always have pullbacks as we get there, but exciting stuff, and there's no reason why we could have that first leg running into Christmas at this stage. So let's have a look at some of the analysis here. The price of Bitcoin could rise to 150,000 by 2025. Bernstein said on Tuesday in a note citing optimism about a Bitcoin exchange traded fund. And of course, Bernstein analyst Gautam Chugani, how about that? Was that okay? Gautam, I could say this many different ways, honestly, said the firm expects the US Securities and Exchange Commission to approve a Bitcoin ETF by the first quarter of 2024. So we got a little contrast there, right? We've got Michael Novogratz talking about potentially the end of this year because he's actually got one applied, so he's actually following it with the Galaxy, and so he says he feels like it's going pretty good. Obviously, we had some court setbacks for the Fed, for the SEC, and so yeah, that's kind of the earliest stages at the end of this year. Now, a lot of analysts are calling Q1. Tom Lee was calling Q1. Gautam here calling Q1 as well for that. So either we're going to get it by the end of the year or the beginning of next year. Either way, I think we're going to have a run up in anticipation, and then we could have a little bit of a sell the news event, and then a rise up after that. It's probably what we're going to see again, moving to new highs. The bullish estimate as capital flows in, right, from the actual ETFs. The bullish estimate is about 5 times the current price, around 34,000, and more than double Bitcoin's all-time high of more than 67,000 set in November 2021, which is pretty exciting. Bernstein also expects the ETF approval would shift up to 10% of Bitcoin circulation supply towards ETFs, and that no doubt they're going to already accumulate, right, in anticipation. If they're actually putting in the process, they're going to have a good sense of what's going on. They're going to have their sales desks on the phone talking to all their billionaire clients, and of course the institutions, all that stuff, IRAs and everything else, and they're going to start getting funds moving in to crypto. You got to remember, this is opening us up to the biggest capital markets of the world. So this is the big main event, right? Outside all the nation states, this is the biggest event, and so really, really exciting. And of course, it's going to be a multi-year phase, but we'll get a lot of big start out of the gate there. So very exciting. The approval would allow conventional investors to get Bitcoin exposure directly from their investment portfolios. The only similar product is Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust, or GBTC, which presently holds around 3% of outstanding Bitcoin, according to the note. And of course, you may not like Bitcoin as much as we do, but a dispassionate view of Bitcoin as a commodity suggests a turn of the cycle. Chugani wrote. I think I got that better this time. A good idea is only as good as its timing. SEC approved ETFs by world's top asset managers BlackRock, Fidelity, etc. seems imminent. Woo! Hot dog and a dog. Welcome to the time. We've had a few people join our Discord, and they're brand new to crypto. And man, they're joining at the right time because they got to miss the bear market, and if they start accumulating now, they're going to be doing very well indeed, and it's going to be fun to see. So the prediction came where Chugani initiated coverage of several Bitcoin mining firms, saying that the Bitcoin halving in April 2024, in which Bitcoin rewards will be halved as part of a planned and recurring event baked into the currency underlying code, will force losing miners to be washed out, paving the way for big gainers by the survivors. Now, we know who's in the survivors, right? BlackRock. BlackRock is in the survivors as well. Not only are they looking at Bitcoin ETFs, but they're also big owners in Bitcoin miners as well. So yes, you're going to get the money from them, but you're also going to get control and manipulation. Just remember that when the price starts rallying, you want to take their money off them because they're going to take the money off you. Just remember that. So that's what you want to do. Remember, they play all sides of the game. This is how they win. They have all sides, so just take that into account. Last week, the price of Bitcoin reached 35,000 at its highest level since May 2022. Investors have said that they remain hopeful for a green light in the ETF by the end of the year after the SEC declined to appeal a key court ruling in Grayscale's lawsuit against it. However, the court's ruling does not guarantee the SEC will approve a Bitcoin ETF. SEC Chair Gary Gensler, your best friend, I know you guys love that guy, has long criticized the crypto industry as being rife with fraudsters and scam artists, but apparently it turns out the SEC is the one that destroys value in markets. So isn't that ironic? Poor little investors get hurt by the SEC and they get nothing for it. So these guys are hilarious. So whether the regulator will continue to fight against crypto ETFs is an open question. The crypto industry was facing recent struggles, including the SEC lawsuit against Binance for security violations earlier this year. Last year, crypto exchange FTX filed bankruptcy, and the former CEO, of course, Sam Bankman-Fried, is currently on a trial for fraud. And guess what the mainstream media does, right? So the mainstream media is sitting in the past, dude. All the articles, just about 80% of them at the moment, are going about the Sam Bankman-Fried trial, and yet none of us in crypto care. Like, if pretty much you don't care unless you think you're going to get something, you're going to get nothing from that. And of course, all of us in DeFi, we definitely don't care. Because crypto is just moving on, and but it's hilarious what mainstream media like to make a story out of, right? Just it's hilarious. Anyway, so we're going to move on. We had other news other than Bitcoin, of course. So Bitcoin looking bullish, and crypto looking bullish, and of course Pulsechain will benefit big time. And of course, Celestia airdrops a TIA token as network goes live. Claim start of modular era. So a new blockchain here, Celestia has released its mainnet beta after issuing tokens to 580,000 users. Let us know in the chat there if you're one of those beneficiaries in the chat there. Modular blockchain Celestia has rolled out its mainnet beta following the issuance of its native TIA token, described as a modular data availability network that securely scales with the number of users. So Celestia aims to solve scalability and stability issues that are common with monolithic blockchains like Ethereum and Solana, they say. It's the start of a new area, the Celestia Foundation, which supports the development of the network, and of course the modular era. So there we are. That is pretty much it. So I'm not going to get into all the rest of the details here, but we're going to have a look at the price of this because this is the website Celestia here, celestia.org, and of course that's spelled CELESTIA.org, the first modular blockchain network. I'll post the link to this in the chat there if you want to, have a look at it. Bam. Let me just type that in. Celestia. And bam. All right. There we go. All right. That is it. All right. So that is the Celestia network, and we're going to jump price that to the price. And the price is at $2.32. So it's just launched, $2.32. It looks like it's had a high up here of about $2.49. And of course, it's just launched here in the day. So there's the chart at the moment. What's the market cap on this? $326 million at the moment, with $280 million in volume, it says. But of course, it just issued that token, and now everybody's got it. So pretty much that's it. Circulating supply, 141 million TIA tokens. Total supply is going to be 1 billion, apparently. So there we are. That is it. 2.3 billion fully diluted market cap if they had all this total supply out there at the moment. But liquid circulating supply is 141 million there. All right, that is pretty much it on that. Before we get into Pulsechain and Richard Hart, let's get into the chat there and catch up on a few comments. That is the crypto news, and the outlook is bullish. That's what we got there. That's all we got from that. Pumpkin House says Oklahoma is always the cheapest in oil and petrol, I should say. Petrol. We've got Tin Top in there. What's up, Tin Top? Good to see you as well. What's up? What else there? Let's jump through some of that. We got Trenton Patrick in the house there. Hello, everybody. Good to see Trenton. And what else? We got David as well. What's up, family? Welcome, David, to the chat. Who else is here? Let's go through some of these. Tim Top says none of those guys know anything. Same guys around said around the top we were going to 100,000 per Bitcoin last bull run, but I hope they're right. It says that it's on top there. Well, I think they're going to be right because we've got the biggest capital in the world coming into crypto. So I think that it's going to be inevitable now. The big numbers on the Bitcoin and crypto and the cash that flows through. We got Christian says, hey, DGN MOB killing it. There's nothing better than Pulsechain, says Christian. Yeah, Christian's crushing it, lady. Well done to you, mate. And we've got D-Hex as well. What's up, Hexkins, Pulsexkins? Welcome to the house. And a Pulse Passive Income Cash Flow. Good morning, Pulse fam. Absolutely good morning and welcome to everybody. Now, if you guys haven't subscribed on the way in, subscribe to Hex Token YouTube, subscribe to Superman Crypto, subscribe to Pulsechain YouTube. Three channels are streaming to over 10,000 subscribers at the moment. Now, if you want to hit the bell as well for future daily videos, we're pretty much streaming every day. And of course, if you want to get into the best Discord for Hex and Pulsechain, then the link is in the video description. For 16 cents a day, it's pretty good. And you're going to have the best info, early intel on all the projects. Pretty much, this channel is pretty much documenting all the projects on Pulsechain, at least the ones that matter. And so definitely get into Discord and become part of the awesome community that's in there. So cool. Links in the video description. All right, we got Wookie in the house as well. Good to see Wookie. Nice to see you in the house there. And of course, one of our moderators as well. Let's see. Let's go back here. We're going to get Richard Hart to kick off the Pulsechain. This is a recent tweet or post that Richard did. Uniswap was down today. app.pulsex.com. Of course, the big DEX on Pulsechain was not down today. Thank goodness for free and open source software that anyone can host. Indeed, I heard that the Uniswap Foundation moved 40 million of Uni tokens to exchanges to dump per a DAO vote. So if you're one of these Hexkins that are still holding Uni, be careful because it's about to get dumped on apparently. I heard their 0.15% swap fee made 500K in 2 weeks. I heard AVAX was getting its Etherscan bulk block explorer turned off November the 30th. I heard Bitmain stopped paying their employees. I ain't forgot about you, dude, since you tried to death spiral Bitcoin on August the 1st, 2017. Why buy mining hardware when your coins can make more coins without specialized hardware? I agree with that. I mean, I think it's really pretty antiquated technology now, but does have infrastructure. Gosh, I wish I had bought more coins instead of mining video cards back in 2011, says Richard Hart. So pretty cool there. A bit of Will Smith there. And the guy that did the Michael Jackson Pepsi video, this guy on the left. Remember that little boy in the Michael Jackson Pepsi video? I can't remember this guy's name. Let me know in the chat there was his name. I just forget his name. But a very talented guy, actually, there. All right. Let us move on. That is Richard Hart giving us some intel there. And that leads us into Pulsechain. So we're covering day 172 results. And we've got the price of Pulse there at the moment, quadruple 593. Up almost 2%, and we're at 59% of the mean sacrifice price. Pulsex there at quadruple 0172, up 4%, and we've got the buy and burn, which is spectacular. Look at that, 529.6 billion Pulsex has been bought and burned. And as I like to remind every time, this is part of the superior tokenomics of the Pulsex Pulsechain ecosystem compared to say Uniswap and Ethereum or PancakeSwap, things like that. So pretty important there. I can't believe it. Under maintenance, let's try back in 60 seconds. Hey, I'm trying to do the update today. Hey, we're going to have to go to the charts because it looks like it's just hit maintenance during the live stream. That's the first time that's happened. That's crazy, man. We'll come back to it, though. Now, I want to talk about the gas prices on Ethereum quickly, so we'll go to that, and we'll come back to those other prices. But the gas prices on Ethereum have been starting to rise, and this is what we anticipated. So this is good news, and you're going to find out why. Because Pulsechain gets even cheaper compared to through Ethereum. It's much better to do business on Pulsechain. And of course, you can see over the last 30 days, we've started to finally rise. Now, last year, we started to rise on the 10th of October on Ethereum, but this year, it's 24th of October. So that's 2 weeks. 2 weeks later than last year's profile. But now we're into the teens and into the 20s and 30s and occasional 40s and 50s and things like that. So things have definitely changed. The low time, of course, has definitely got higher too, the low teens, rather than being down at 4, 5, and 6, which we had for an extended period of time back here. Look at this. So all got down pretty low, 4 and 5 way. And we're really starting to climb there. So that's good news for Pulsechain because Pulsechain is just that much more cheaper and stuff like that. So kind of cool. Right. Let's get into it. We've got them back now. The price is back. So we've got the one Pulse at the moment. We get 3.44 Pulse X. So actually Pulse is weakening versus PulseX with this relativity change in the prices. And of course, incentive there is at $1.06, up 1.16%. And of course, we've had a 112,487 burn through the TRH protocol as well. And we understand that TYCZ is going to be very different from the TYRH game profile. In fact, it could be one of the biggest hidden gems on Pulsechain launching, and it looks like it's going to be a New Year surprise. So it's been deferred 2 months, but stay tuned for that. That is Secret Source Alpha here on Hex Token Channel. You don't want to miss that. TYCZ. The lobby is still open, and of course you can hit us up in Discord if you want to get a link to that and participate in the lobby to get tokens. But that thing could be absolutely huge the way it's been pushed through, and you can find out more details in the Discord, links in the video description for that secret source there. We've got Hex at the moment at 1.42 cents on PHEX. That is up about 0.5% almost. And we've got EHEX there at 0.088. That is pretty much just slightly below yesterday, I think. And the combined price of EHEX and PX is at 2.3 cents. So we're in our 2 to 3 cent range. That's nice. That's a good place to be for the time being. One Pulse will get you, one Hex PHEX will get you 240 Pulse, and one PX will get you 1.62 EHEX at the moment. Those are the ratios. Let's get into the charts though. And there we go. Here is the daily for Pulse. We're currently at quadruple 0592, and we can see that we've bounced off the middle of the Bollinger Bands, the 50% mark, and we've got a nice little formation happening here actually. And of course, imagine if Bitcoin breaks out. Oh my goodness, it's going to be so good. We've got 59 on the RSI as well, so looking pretty good here. Also for a slow move up, maybe a little zigzag here up to the top there. All right, get back to the mean price. What would it take to do that? Well, it would take about 70% to get back to the mean price and back to the pre-SEC price, which are both at 0001 basically. So it's an easy number to remember. 70% gains from here back to there. PulseX is at quadruple 0172. So there's a lot of potential upside in PulseX, and at the moment, pretty similar looking shape, of course, to Pulsechain, bounced off the 50 Fibonacci, a Bollinger Band, sorry, and the RSI pretty chill as well at 61.8. So that is it at the moment on there, and of course, there's a long way to go to get back to the sacrifice price. We have to really zoom in this chart here. That yellow line is where the mean price is at 0001, and of course, there's mad gains, 70% in a Pulse, but there's 480% in PulseX. So there we are. It's just a matter of being patient, is my guess. And so just hold on to your hat. How far back to the SEC price, which is actually different? It is around about 82% back to the SEC price there as well. That's why I talked about the SEC. You know, are they protecting investors or are they destroying investor value? Well, they clearly destroyed investor value by a magnitude on Pulsechain. But the people are fighting back, and the price is slowly starting to rise because the people, you know, Pulsechain is the people's chain, and it's got more development, over 180 projects coming to Pulsechain. It really is incredible. All right, let's go to incentive token. Incentive token at the moment is at $1.06. We'll look at the ratio. This is obviously being emitted from the PulseX farms, and we can see that the ratio at the moment is still shedding there. We're at 17,974. Obviously, tomorrow we're going to be talking about 9-inch decks that will have single-side staking, I believe, tomorrow for the PulseX. So PulseX, so it's going to be pretty important, not on incentive token, but PulseX. So that might actually help lift the incentive token and PulseX. So single-side staking for PulseX coming tomorrow on the 9-inch deck. So that'll be fun. All right, we'll talk more about that later. Moving to Hex, PHEX here. Even stronger looking chart on PX. And of course, here we are at 1.1 cents. We bounced off that, which is the 61.8 Fibonacci, almost like clockwork there. And we're back up to 1.42, looking very good on this chart. We had a nice little, I guess this is kind of a butterfly doji. Generally, I think it's like 2/3 bullish. We get a butterfly doji, so that's kind of looking good too. And of course, we keep checking those volumes to see where that comes in. The RSI is on an elevated level, but not overbought yet. 64 there at the moment on the daily. At the moment on PHEX, I'm liking it a lot. Hex for the win. Hex for the win. I've seen a couple of people on TA also talk about how bullish they are. I think Axis Alive pushed out something earlier today. He was pretty bullish. So you know, go check that out. It was on EHEX in particular. So we'll get to EHEX. There's EHEX here at the moment. We got the price at 0088. Yesterday we had a bit of a, have we closed the day? Yeah, we have. There's a brand new candle here for the new day. This one just closed 6 minutes ago. and we had a high of 0.0959, which is almost back to, not too far away from 1 cent. And today here, we're still looking kind of bullish as we zigzag way up as the look from here. Kind of cool, looking good on the old. The thing I like about the EHEX move is that we really bounced off. I mean, we went slightly below it on several occasions, but really bounced off that 50 Fibonacci after having such a big drive here at the moment. And as long as Bitcoin's holding up, I think this is looking very, very good for the old EHEX chart there. So PHEX and EHEX looking pretty good in my view. So check that out. All right, and of course, EHEX is actually above the SEC price, which is the first one to do that, and that's pretty cool. So the SEC price was just below here at 80086, so it's actually above that now. So that's good news. And I know PHEX has a little bit of work to do, but not. It got pretty close last time. It was 6% away from the pre-SEC price. Now we still have a bit of work on PHEX to do to get back there, which is around about 40% up gains from here. All right, that is pretty much it on PX and EHEX. I didn't open up the combined chart, but we'll look at that again tomorrow. That brings us into the validators. We're gonna have a look at the records here. We've got how many? 48,657 validators. Pretty much stable here at the top of the all-time high. Looking pretty good. We got 1.56 trillion is staked on the validators, can't be sold. Obviously, we were looking for liquid loans, right? Liquid loans, potential to lock away a whole ton more Pulse by collateralizing it, adding a new feature to Pulse basically, and issuing a new stablecoin USDL. So we're looking forward to that. And of course, the Magic Upright team have a product based on liquid loans too, the Barista. So we're looking forward to that launch too, which is going to be pretty neat. All right, so that's looking good. Let's go to the gas prices and have a look at that quickly. Like I say, Ethereum is pretty getting more expensive on the Ethereum chain now that things are getting more bullish. We've got the beats are down, actually not too bad today, 561,000. It's kind of on the lower end. We got 1 cent for a Pulse X swap, 7/100th of a penny for Pulse coin transfer, and 2/10 of a penny for a PRC20 transfer. We are 1,000. I love this. 1,038 times cheaper than Ethereum at the moment. It will cost you $10.35 to do a swap on that fake DeFi Uniswap, and of course 693x to do a cheaper than Bitcoin. So wonderful to be on Pulsechain. It really does open. I can't remind you of the secret sauce is that it's super cheap. Obviously, that people love that, but there's so much happening in Pulsechain with the projects. And of course, that's going to attract more and more users, more activity. And we already have such a big community anyway. So it's going to be fun to see that rally in the bull market. We are the best. And everyone's going to see that too. The other thing, of course, it allows protocols to do compounding and all sorts of stuff because it's so cheap to do it. You're not paying $5, $20, $30. It gets more expensive in a bull market. You're paying $50 just to do a staking thing or something. It's just crazy. But on Pulsechain, it's always going to be cheap for quite a while before things really start to price up. So it's going to be pretty important. Very cool indeed. In fact, we're going to listen to a quick video from Richard on this one, just to get you guys inspired about where this is all heading.
Accrues so much value and gets so many users. Yeah, the fees will go up and you'll just get really, really rich holding Pulse watching. Oh no, more really, really rich people. Like you can't, here's the thing. You cannot force a free market to keep things cheap, because then crappy use cases that aren't valuable will outbid useful and valuable use cases. And do you want your chain with limited capacity to be filled up with crap? No, you don't want your chain filled up with crap. You want it filled up with nice, good things. Well, then how do you know what the difference between nice and crap is? By bidding. And the people that see more value in the chain pay more to use the chain. And then your limited resource chain, through the bidding mechanism, is filled with the most valuable things that people can fill it with. And so this like socialist USSR decree that, oh, we're just going to have cheap fees forever, it doesn't work, because there's a finite amount of space and you have to allocate it to certain users. And who should you allocate it to? Those that can most afford it, because they're bidding with their money for how valuable the transaction is. So the solution to a limited resource isn't to screw around with the pricing. The solution to a limited resource is to create more of the resource. So the Ethereum chain is full. Great. Well, we're going to make one with 4 times more throughput, and it won't be full. It'll be empty, and let's go fill it up.
So I really love that video. That video really highlights the fact that we've got all these projects coming. We're going to talk about all those quickly coming up there as well. I'm going to do a lot more on all the projects, over 180. And of course, a lot of them still to roll out, probably most of them. We're going to keep covering that. So very cool. We'll get back to it in a second. Let's go have a quick look at the other three categories. So we looked at the Richard Hart. We're going to look at the top PRC20s. We're going to look at the meme coins. We're going to look at the Pulsechain projects. Those are the other three main categories we're going to look at. So we're going to quickly go through those. So the PRC20s. We've got PDI managing to make a bit of a lift off the bottom. Was it down and out? People were saying, well, here is the PDI here. It definitely started to look like it was down and out, but it did support. It did defend this line here at 00045. Obviously, that's a long way down if you buy up here, right? That's a long way down, but it is making a bit of a comeback. Is it the comeback, kid? 000169. I'm really finding this one fun. The reason why is because there's a lot of people expecting it to reach $1. Of course, the first thing it has to do is reach all-time high, which is at 0.3 of a penny. And then, of course, try and hit 1 cent, then maybe try and hit 10 cents. So it'll be fun to see this thing try. And, of course, it's always fun to speculate on too. But at the moment, 006169, that is a PDI or die on Pulsechain. The other one, of course, is Wrap Bitcoin, really showing some, I think, quite a lot of strength, Wrap Bitcoin on Pulsechain. Remember, this is the copy from the Ethereum fork on the 10th of May at 10:36 UTC time when Pulsechain forked Ethereum, and of course did a full system stake copy. And we can see at the moment a Bitcoin kind of rallying too, pretty similar, up to $111, sorry, on the old Wrap Bitcoin with 543K liquidity. Not too bad. So watch out. This is we're still trying. We're kind of in this first phase of a potential bull market rally, and of course this is the very beginning. So I think they're doing pretty well. We could see some interesting things as we move up further into the bull market. It's going to be pretty cool. Atropa at the moment is up 6%. This is the magic contract that everyone talks about. And at the moment, not so magic at the moment, but it is down at the bottom. But it has managed to come off the bottom there a bit. It was at 3,600 for the penny. Now at 4,800 for the penny, almost back at half a cent is the old Atropa. MakerDAO up 3%. Teddy Bear up 8%. Treasury Bill up 8%. SHIB is down 8% actually. Now SHIB and Pepe may get support on 9-inch as the two big branded meme coins. We will see. The community is probably going to decide on that. But yeah, that is pretty interesting. Down 8% there. Pepe also down 5% as well. Let's have a quick look at SHIB. SHIB down there, yeah. So got sold off down here, back again. We'll see how it goes. That one's quite speculative, but we'll see where it goes vis-a-vis a 9-inch. Pepe there is also at the bottom as well. So there we are, still speculative, like I've been saying, but still potential for to do something. That's pretty much it on these. Aave is up 25%. A nice little move on Aave. This is the copy, of course, and yeah, that is the Aave chart at the moment. So up the last couple of days on there as well. Not doing too bad actually. If you look at the whole line there, it's looking not too bad at all. Small liquidity, 10K, so very retail play there on that one. Remember, we have ordered by liquidity, so the biggest liquidity is at the top. That's why we start off with Atropa there. Let's go over to the second category, which is or third category, which is memes. And of course, this has got a lot of our 9-inch tokens on it. So we're going to open those up and talk about 9-inch first. We're going to open up where the ETH go. We're going to open up Paul Pleb. We're going to open up Pulse Dodge. And we're also going to go to, we're going to pull up Ethereum as well. Let's go to Pulsechain projects. We're going to pull up a 9-inch. We're going to pull up 9-inch from Ethereum. Too fast there. We're going to pull up 9-inch from Ethereum, and we're going to pull up BBC 9-inch. Are we going to do that? I think we're going to do that as well. I want to bring it up by itself. I keep doing the wrong thing there. Sorry about that. My bad. All right, so that is 9-inch. So we're going to put all those in order. So we're going to go through those in order. 1, 2, 3, and let's do it. So what do we got here? We are in the roadmap. So let's go to the roadmap first, actually. So where were we? We're on day 4. And of course, yesterday, we in the morning, so around similar time, just a couple hours before this time, we had the launch of single-sided 9-inch staking pool. We had 9-inch and BBC single-sided staking created. So that was created. And on top of that, you also get BBC farms. So we had single-sided staking for the 2 native coins for 9-inch. Of course, the Sacrifice coin 9-inch, and which is really the DEX coin, and the incentive equivalent, the BBC token there. And then, of course, on top of that, you get the BBC farms. So that puts more demand on BBC, more demand on BBC for single-sided staking. Now, yesterday last night, probably about 12 hours ago. I calculated all the numbers, and it appeared that there was 75% of the current supply of BBC sitting in either the farm or the single-sided staking at the time. Now, I'm not sure what that percentage is now, because obviously BBC is being mined out. There's probably another 1 million BBC now. We'll check that out, but that is the play. We are not expecting anything from LPs today. Now, they did potentially tease the fact that they would have non-Hexy bastard ecosystem tokens. That's what that means. Maybe announced. So we haven't seen anything like that. I checked before the live stream. So unless they give something today, we haven't seen anything on that. We may not see anything on that. But definitely tomorrow, if they keep to the timeline. Now, once again, this is subject to the team keeping to the timeline. Tomorrow morning, so a couple of hours before this live stream, tomorrow, if it's equivalent to when they launch the 9-inch staking, single-sided staking, then we could expect to see farms and single-sided staking for Wrapped ETH, Where Did the ETH Go token. These are the three memes, Paul Pleb and PLD. So that means that these three, they started rallying last night, so about 12 to 15 hours ago or so, yesterday, maybe even earlier. And of course, basically yesterday. And we could reasonably expect them to continue rallying today as people look to accumulate those for the farms and single-sided staking, which will remove more of that supply off the market, particularly where the ETH Go, which only has 1 million tokens. So we're going to keep watching that as well. Single-sided staking for Pulsechain as well. That's bullish for Pulsechain. So it's going to be really, really big deal. If you got Pulsechain, you got nothing to do. You can go stake it in there at least till Power City Earn protocol launches, when that will collateralize Pulsechain. You can plug your money in there and earn a bit of BBC on that one. On the Pulsechain only. So it's on Pulsechain only, so only Pulsechain there. Single-sided staking for eHex as well, and DBI. And DBI is another community that are trying to onboard to the Ethereum side. But eHex there, single-sided staking on Ethereum. So if you've got some lazy single-sided hex there, you don't want to stake it on the Hex platform, you can just put it here on the 9-inch on Ethereum. So that's coming out tomorrow as well. And then, of course, we've got eHex, PHEX farm on Pulsechain. So that will be super popular too. We're going to be interesting to see how that goes as well. So if we go, let's quickly pick up Pulsechain and have a quick look at that. And let me pull that all over here. We're going to go to Pulsechain. The reason why we're doing that, we're going to have a quick look at the farms, the opportunities that you have at the moment. Right. So here's the farms on Pulsechain. And of course, we've got Pulsechain Wrap Pulse. You can put in that, earn 7.5%. And you've also got Hex Pulse there at 9.5%. But the old farms have gone, the finished farms, where you could do different type of pairings. Let me just look through here. So Hex from Ethereum and Hex LP, that has gone, all that stuff. So basically, you're going to have that new opportunity over on a 9-inch with the eHex PHEX farm. So that's going to be popular too. What will that do? What will that do to obviously boost the liquidity on the Pulsechain for 9-inch with the Hex community? But what will that do to the Hex price as well? Just another bullish feature, I think, for the Hex price. Potentially get more off the market and potentially some purchasing as well. We'll see. But that definitely happens a lot when this sort of thing happens. So fingers crossed there. So a big day for 9-inch tomorrow, basically, with all these things. Don't miss out on these opportunities. They just happened this one time at Bandcamp, and you don't want to miss out, right? So those in Discord know my joke, but that's pretty much it at the moment. All right, let's go into a couple of comments. We've got a couple of comments on this. So before we move on into some more details about 9-inch, let's see who else has jumped in here. DHEX says, dude, I can't wait for Power City and Liquid Lines. I know they're coming down the track. We're going to talk about those quickly as well. Really looking forward to those wonderful projects to launch. Woohoo! Absolutely. Pulsechain will melt faces, says Russ. Absolutely. And Christian there says, I highly recommend to join Discord. It has a little bit of everything. You won't regret it, says Christian. Yeah. And the link is in the video description. So join up. Only 16 cents a day. What else there? Let's jump around. We've got Rod Patrick, morning Superman and y'all. Good to see Rod Patrick. Yeah, some of the early numbers I've seen, Rod Patrick is 155 billion. I did cover that on about a week or so ago on predictions, and that, of course, it could have a multiplier effect of 3 to 5x. So at minimum, $1 trillion expected to come through the Bitcoin ETFs. Now, I think the time frame is just based on the percentage of the capital that flows in through though that and the other entities for that. I might pull that back up again for another topic. Pulsechain maintenance needed in the machine, says Valiant. Yeah. Pumpkin House says, was wondering, I'm a Discord member from early on with you, but noticed there's also a paid membership. Yeah. So previously the Discord used to be public. Basically anyone could join. All the members that joined before it went, so it was public. It's now gone private. All the members that were joined when it was public, OG members, they're called OG members, and all people that join and now that's private, it's moved to just a support model. So that is, they're now called Pulsechain members, Discord members or something like that, community members. Then they're called community members. So they've got different colored title. They get a few extra benefits too, by the way. And I like me responding to them straight away and stuff like that. So yeah. Christian in the house, there's RH said he can see Rat Bitcoin high value. Indeed. The rock hard text says Magic Upright. Indeed. Christian says, I noticed I get more 9-inch coins from Petius than 9-inch. That's funny. Well, Petius is aggregating them across pools, so maybe that's why. Now, if you are looking, see this one's here. Where'd the ETH go, Paul Pleb? If you're looking to buy those, use Petius. Do not use the other ways of buying it, because there's a lot of bot activity on these tokens. I don't know why it's so high, but it's particularly high on these tokens. And I definitely use Petius to help you get some bot protection there. With the slippage and other things. So really do use Petius for these ones because there's heavily botted these tokens. It really does seem pretty heavy to me. Pumpkin House says, congrats on your Discord. It is loaded with good stuff and a lot of members. Absolutely, Pumpkin Out really is a great place. Petius Rock says Pumpkin Out does indeed. All right, let's move on. So this is the big news we're expecting tomorrow. How many hours away would that be? Let's go 12 and I don't know, 12 and 10, maybe let's say 18, probably 18 to 22 hours, somewhere in that ballpark, subject to the team, of course. You know, they have been delayed a couple hours every time they've had a launch on some of these things. So, you know, this was the day one was like, was it 2 hours delayed? Day three was like 6 to 8 hours delayed. So from the original time, but then of course they updated. So just remember that assuming this all launches at time, I think they'll probably get this out on time, but they've got more things to launch here, right? There's quite a few things here. What's at least 4 different things to launch there. And of course, both chains for the top one there. All right, that leads us on into the token. So let's go to 9-inch, see how that's performing. There was a big sell-off last night. Who was talking to me? Someone was talking to me in Discord about, is it going to sell off here? I think we were breaking down. We were breaking down the chart, and it was breaking down here. And I said, yeah, well, it looks definitely breaking down. I had to hold support while it broke down pretty heavy on 9-inch. Now, it got all the way down to quadruple 037. The market cap was over 50 million, right? So it's back up. It got down into 35 or something. Now it's at 40, 41. And it's had a little rebound. These little retraces can be healthy. Obviously, there's a lot more to come, as we said in the rollout. So there's got all this happening tomorrow. So that's kind of cool. We are in a sort of a quiet day. So that may explain it. And of course, people take profits, right? Pretty much that. They go, oh, this is pretty healthy profit. I'm in the money quite a lot. I think the sacrifice price was pretty much at quadruple 156. So, I mean, they're up quite a lot from that. It's been a pretty successful launch. We had a nice uptrend. So there's bound to be some profits taking. Interesting support level here, though, as well. So you'll be watching to see this try and continue up here as well. Now, after this launch here, arguably we'll be getting other launches, right? So other meme coins launching, things like that, things that are being registered, what they call the casting couch there, given this has got adult themes on this. And of course, we're a family channel, so it's kind of the opposite of our channel, but that's what they got coming. In any case, this is 9-inch on Pulsechain, doing pretty good there. It basically means you can accumulate more as well, and you can go into the farms and have more on the farming, right? So it's kind of the cool there. You do have to take in the risks, of course, of the underlying value of the token. We can see that the pools here, the farms at the moment, we've got the APRs have to be fixed up. They're still not fixed up. These APRs are not correct. They're at least half lower than these APRs. So this has got 4,800. That's at probably 2,400 at max. So it's pretty much, you can basically halve these. So if you go into the calculators and you say you put in $1,000 and you do it on a 1 day, and it says 145 BBC, you can basically halve that at the max, and it's probably slightly below that. Instead of being 145, it's probably it's probably 70 or maybe even 65. So just take that calculator. It's not needs to be fixed up. They have acknowledged that issue. We've got that in the Pulsechain chat and the Discord there, and they're looking to fix that. I'm surprised it's not fixed yet, but they're probably still working on it from the looks of it. The 9-inch USDC is here as well. So basically halve all these numbers at least. And of course, then you've got 9-inch USD Tether, 9-inch BBC, and 9-inch Wrap9ETH. Now, the underlying value of 9-inch, and of course, whether you've got stablecoins will impact on your capital value that you put in, right? You put your capital value in, but the underlying asset of 9-inch is moving around. And this one in particular, you got 9-inch and Wrap9ETH. So if the DEX gets bigger and bigger, the volumes get bigger and bigger, the value gets bigger and bigger, likely these will go up in price, right? Obviously, there's a lot of whales in the system, things like that. You've got to take into all these variables, right? The trend is your friend, all that good stuff, the RSI and things like that. But this is kind of what you get. So if the DEX does really well, then your capital value will probably increase because you got both of these with these tokens. But of course, if it increases here, then you're going to get more stable coin and less of the 9-inch thing that's going up. Now, that happens the opposite way, right? So if you go the opposite way of 9-inch, then you get more stable coins, and that's a more stable pool relative to 9-inch, and Wrap9ETH will just, your capital will just go down in value. So remember things like that in play when you're trying to farm. But the yields, of course, are fairly attractive at the moment, and so they'll probably continue to be. All right, but then, of course, we've got the roadmap. We've got more stuff coming, and, of course, they're all going to be getting BBC there too. And so that's pretty much it. So let's go to 9-inch. That's the 9-inch on Pulsechain, having a recovery there. This is 9-inch on the Ethereum side. And, of course, look at this thing here, quadruple 0136. I think it's undervalued, but they've got more work to do with the project teams like DBI, like Ethereum. They're going to get more volume on there. I think they got as high as third place in the Ethereum dexes, and they're back down to like number 6 now. But they've really got to get their volume up. And so they got more stuff. It's just early days in a rollout, so they continue to roll out stuff and build up liquidity. But that's where it is at the moment. Quadruple 0136 had a little rebound there. So had a big pump, got sold back down, and it's having a little recovery here. That's on the 15-minute. Let's go to the daily. There's the daily chart. Actually, go to 4-hourly because it doesn't have enough data for that. That's the 4-hourly. And you can see we had a couple of volume here. Big volume pumped it. Big volume there pumped that too. And lower volume there sold it down. So just remember that. I probably think this is undervalued. Particularly if they pull up the volume, get more successful on the Ethereum chain. And of course, we want to take Uniswap market share. So I hope they do. I hope they're successful there. And of course, really bring on a lot of communities new to Pulsechain as well through this DEX also. Remember, it is cheaper and faster, and therefore the DEX aggregators should start pulling it up too once its liquidity gets bigger. And of course, they're just focusing on rolling out this roadmap and building up their asset value, the TVL, which is pretty cool. All right, so that's looking pretty good there. And the TVL at the moment is on the protocol here. We've actually got an update. So Pulsechain TVL is $21.4 million US, which makes them the third biggest project on Pulsechain. Obviously, PulseX is around about $145 million at the moment at current prices. PHUX is, I think I've got PHUX here. PHUX is at $36 million. They have number 2 spot. So you got PulseX, then PHUX, the fork of Balancer, right? And PHUX there, fork of PancakeSwap, Uniswap, V2. And then, of course, you've got a third big protocol. And this is what we love. This is Pulsechain gaining value. Really is exciting. And now we've got this one here with $21.4 million in it. Fantastic. That is fantastic. So number 3, they're looking like a boss, man. So, Pulsechain's rolling out, and it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And you guys here are still early. So a very exciting time. So that's the 9-inch there on both Pulsechain. Now we look at BBC on Pulsechain. Now this definitely had a capitulation as well with the 9-inch going down. We saw it yesterday. It was about $1.14 when I tuned in for the evening. And then, of course, someone asked me that question. And I said, yeah, well, it does look like it's breaking down. But, man, it broke down dramatically. Got down to 67 cents for one incentive, which impacted the farm yields, right? So the farm yields go down a lot. So your capital was going down if you were in one of these things, and your yield was going down as well. Just remember that when these things move around. Now, the opposite happens when they go up, right? So it just depends on what's happening there. Now, obviously, there's been a bit of a recovery there. So we got down to 67 cents. We're back at 90 cents at the moment. We've been as high as 94 cents. So we'll see where this zigzag back up here. Now, what can people do with the BBC token? It's the last mile token, just like the incentive token on PulseX. The incentive token has some yields, farms that it can go into, but doesn't have any single-sided staking. Well, at least on a 9-inch, you have the BBC farm, so you can earn there, and it's got pretty high yield at the moment. And also, you can go to the pools and do single-side staking, and you can stake BBC, but of course, you can also stake 9-inch as well. And of course, longer pays better, up to 21x there, I think, for 52 weeks. So pretty cool. So far, we've got 766,000 BBC on there, staked in the pool. And how much BBC do we have in existence now? Let's go have a look at how much has been mined out. Remember, we started at a lazy 100,000, and let's see where we got to now. 2.8, almost 2.9 BBC tokens in existence. And of course, we can see on the farm there that 766,000 are now staked on single-side staking. And maybe this is a little bit of a Blue's Clues to what we might see with incentive tokens when the single-side staking pools open up on Pulsechain. So we're still expecting that in the future. We know that the Pulsechain team, Pulsechain teams are working, and we've had some little Blue's Clues there from Bretet, little Blue's Clues from Coast interacting, and some of the other teams also. I think Power City also giving a little Blue's Clues there too. So pretty cool. So that is kind of the play there, and a lot of 9-inch at the moment is locked up there too. Pretty nice amount actually, 85 million. Remember, there's only 1 trillion 9-inch, which is pretty cool. And we've also got the burn going, right? The burn's going 9-inch, 275 million burn through buy and burn. Yeah, nice. That's pretty good. Now, obviously, 1 trillion. Obviously, we've got to burn a lot of that. But I mean, it's only a few days into the launch, and we're already heading towards 1 billion burn. So pretty cool there as well. We've got 670 BBC burned there. Also, I wonder if they've fixed some of these things up here. They've got a few things that they had to fix up. Not sure the USDC and things like that. So. All right, let's move on. We don't want to get distracted. Let's have a look at the analytics. We're going to have a quick look at that too. Liquidity, $21 million, and volume there, $12 million. Looking pretty good on there as well. So some nice volumes coming through the DEX here on Pulsechain. Very, very cool. Oh, we've got prices too. Yay! Whee! We've finally got prices come through. So that's pretty cool, right? That is pretty cool. And you can see them all there. That is so cool. That wasn't they had the other last couple of days. We've got prices now, so awesome. Check the prices to make sure they're all correct. They should be. We did have some issues on Pulsechain, remember when it launched, but you can always try and double check these numbers, and if they look good, they probably are. I'm not saying they're not, but always good to double check so that you're always talking about the right things there. So pretty cool. You can check the peers. Nice, looking smooth too. The UI is looking hot, and yeah, very neat there. So very cool. All right, I think that's it on those ones. Yeah, I think so. Don't forget that 9-inch also has limit orders. Limit orders is subject to the amount of liquidity, which is now obviously beefed up dramatically. And of course, you can set limit orders for Pulsechain. So if you're wanting to do limit orders, if you want to go to sleep at night and you want to sell out or buy at a certain price, you can now do that. And of course, there's a little fee there that you'll have to pay, I believe, in 9-inch tokens. It's a very small fee, but you'll have to pay that too. Right, and I think KDP has done a video on limit orders actually, so you can check it out on YouTube. She's started a channel there. All right, where else are we going to go? That is pretty much it. So let's move past these. Let's go to the meme coins. As you guys know, the roadmap indicates that we've got farms and single-side staking for where the ETH go, Paul Pleb, and Pulse Dodge potentially tomorrow in the morning. Which is the expected time, and we've had a rally. So this is on the hourly chart. We've said the rally in where the ETH go, man, oh man. So you guys know yesterday I said reasonable price range of $1.80 to $2.20. Well, yesterday after that it got up to $2.53, and of course up and away. So that was under normal circumstances. Obviously the RSI was getting heated, but of course we've got a special event, right? We've got these farms and single-side staking coming, and so it can often go above that, and that's what we're seeing happen. It came back a little bit there, had profits, came back to $1.91, and then it got all the way back up to this new all-time high here, $2.71 represent. Now, there's only 1 million tokens, right? So this thing could do like a 5x, could go to $5, could do all sorts of crazy stuff. It's got a 2 million market cap. So pretty much every dollar that goes up is another $1 million on the market cap. So if it goes to $3, it's going to be 3 million market cap, etc. And when you've only got 1 million tokens, this is actually the most scarce token in the 9-inch ecosystem, if you think about it. So they're pretty crazy. Anyway, it came back down overnight there on the hourly, down to $1.55. But hey, look, it's back at $2. And of course, it's still got another, just under a day to go before the launch of those pools. So people want to accumulate, I guess, and that's just the way it goes. There are single-side staking pools and farms, so there's 2 different ways of getting yield. but you need that token, and especially where the ETH go, only 1 million of them, and so people are going to pay for that. The other one, of course, is Paul Pleb. This is Hexy Bastard's little child, and this one here is up 27%. Where the ETH go is up 10% there, and on the 24-hour, and this thing has just been zigzagging its way up slowly, and of course trying to get back up there. So let's have a look at the daily on this one. This is the daily profile of this chart. Even before the DEX launched, this thing got pumped all the way up here, got up to quadruple 017, so not even close to that yet. Tried to do that just a couple of days back there, got up to quadruple 0128. So let's see what this puppy can do over the next 24 hours, leading into the launch of the farms and the single-side staking. So interesting stuff to watch. The other one, of course, is Pulse Dodge PLD. This one here is also on a rally, but still a lot of room it could potentially go to. I mean, look where it got to back here at 1.8 cents. So it's still only at 6400th of a penny. So a lot of work to do. The day that closed, it got up to almost 7/10 of a penny. So this thing here could potentially still rally up here. We're watching this closely over the next 24 hours. This one here on a Pulse Dodge. So yeah, we'll be seeing how that goes. All right, that's up 20% on the 24 hours though. So it has started to move. We will be watching these three all very closely. Where the ETH go, Paul Pleb and PLD, the three meme coins that are native to the 9-inch deck development team. And so cool. So that's pretty much it. Hopefully that was a nice coverage of that. Let's move on though. We're going to move on to where we're going to Stakehouse. Yeah, woohoo! So big shout out to Magic Carpet Ride on the Stakehouse. Before we do that though, let's get into the chat there. We're on 1 hour and 7 minutes, so I just got to take note of my time. Let's see where we got up to here. Single side staking, yay, definitely going to be good. Pulsex, EHEX, PHEX, I mean, it's going to be pretty crazy. Valiant says Mabel single side staking for Pepe and Shib coming to 9-inch. Bring in communities might be a big play. I think so, Valiant, and maybe further down the launch phase there. So that's why I've been highlighting them as a speculative play on 9-inch. Valiant, I think Hexy wants to do exactly that. He has thought this through, and he loves the meme coin volumes and plans to utilize them in the 9-inch. Build it. 7, they will come, and it should be great. Absolutely. Was buying Paul Pleb and Pulse Dodge while price was bottomed. Thanks to Hex Token, always good alpha here. We all appreciate it, says Pumpkin Al. You're welcome, man. All right, we got Magic Carpet Ride, so let's get into it, folks. They put out a piece of news here on the Stakehouse, which we haven't heard for a little while in terms of a decent update here. Obviously, they've got a roadmap. They've got multiple products. And, of course, we have covered Barista several times here in the past. And now we've got an update from the Stakehouse. And this is our baby, right? Hex is our baby. And, of course, you can see that in the background here on this. So let me just remove that. You can see there. There's our Hex there, right there on our Knight and Shining Hex armor. Looking pretty good. Now, we've got an update here. Deploying on private testnet, built on top of Hex. So there's a Hex derivative, of course, in the sense. Actually, I guess it's pretty fundamentally Hex, but kind of a Hex derivative. User-created pools, so users will be able to create their own Hex pools. Obviously, if you want to make Hex pool, you'll be able to do that. Obviously, if there's influencers or people with a big following, you could do that too. Maybe you don't have a big following, you just want to do a family one. You could do one like that. I mean, there's all sorts of different use cases for it. Bigger pays better bonus. Obviously, the more people that go in, the bigger pays better bonus. You get up to 150 million Hex. You get up to 10% bonus. So you definitely can tap into part of that bonus. Earns Hedron as well. So that's pretty cool. I think that's a one-to-one. Yeah, a one-to-one Hedron bonus there. So that's another sort of additional income on that. And of course, we know that Alex McFurter is doing Icosa Hedron 2.0. And boy, it looks incredible. Cross-chain features galore. What is there? 50 features plus or something that are coming with the V2 of Icosa Hedron. That is a sleeping giant as well, built on as, of course, derivatives of Hex. Shared gas fee, of course, a super bonus of pools. You can buy and sell position of a position in a pool via the OTC. And this is a cool thing. I don't think we have, not aware of an OTC that's over the counter. It's basically a way of buying and selling direct to somebody else. And of course, they have a mechanism to do that. Typically a safe, immutable code, probably something like that to do that. Let me know in the chat there, Magic Carpet Ride, if that's pretty much how you're doing that mechanism. And of course, on 2 chains, ETH and Pulsechain, you'll be able to do it on both chains, which is pretty cool. Social stickiness, of course, if you're in a pool, definitely helps. And of course, not only the individual pool that you're in, but also all the other pools, because it's going to be on a centralized interface. And of course, you'll be able to see all the action there, I guess, is the way they do that too. So community of pools, is it? The pools of pools. I don't know what else the synergies can we make there. Migrate stake to a new wallet as well. So you'll be able to move your wallet stake, which you can't do on a normal Hex stake. You'll be able to do that with this, which is awesome. So I guess they're using NFT technology for that. So kind of neat. They're self-directed Hex staking pools, looking pretty good. And of course, no one beats Magic Carp Ride with their use of AI imagery. I think this is pretty spectacular. Really liking this stuff. So a big shout out to you. Their artwork is second to none, I must say, right up there. It is pretty crazy stuff there. So that's Stakehouse there. I'm going to post a link to that tweet. And of course, they're going to private testnet soon. You'll be able to play on that on Pulsechain Testnet V4. Now, if you don't know where the details of Pulsechain Testnet V4 are, join our Discord. We got all the information there. It's under useful links, and you'll be able to go up. You'll see all the Pulsechain Testnet V4 links, and you can find them all from Pulsechain, adding that to your MetaMask or wallet or whatever, and of course, or gets into money or something like that. And of course, being able to access PulseX and stuff like buy and sell on the testnet, not the real net, but the testnet. And of course, that's where a lot of the teams deploy so they can get their dApps tested, their code tested, which is pretty cool. So that is it. Stakehouse. Let me post the link. Bam. So looking good. Looking good. Is that Magic Carp Ride says Bistro, the OTC. That's right, the OTC. Sorry, this is the other product that they have. So they got Bistro, Barista, and Stakehouse is immutable and no admin keys. So yeah, fantastic. We needed that solution. Magic Carp Ride has bought that. So if you want an OTC, that's a place to be. If you may want to do a deal with somebody, I guess that's how you can do it. Magic Carp Ride brings some alpha features there. That is really cool. Thank you very much for that. That's a really good solution. Honestly, a big deal. A lot of people want to use that kind of feature, and it's not. It's being delivered by Magic Carp Ride. Hex Together says Magic Carp Ride. Absolutely. Looking good. And of course, that is the link there to the Stakehouse tweet. Give them a follow. Give them a follow. This thing's coming, getting closer and closer to the launch. So give that a follow as well. Cool. Now, Magic Carp Ride, let us know in the chat there when that is, what timeline you're expecting that to come out, because that way I can put it on my timeline map. So let us know when you think this might actually launch on the net after your testing. So, and you're most welcome indeed. All right, so that is that. Let's jump away to Coast update. Now, Coast is the fiat on-ramp directly, and I really emphasize that, directly to Pulsechain. You're not having to go through other chains and a whole ton of other processes. Sometimes you can have 7 or 8 steps to get fiat onto the right chain in the right place that you want it. But on here, you can use Coast to just get directly. Now, the link to get 5,000 weight token bonuses is in the video description. That is not my link. That is our community leader Brian's link. And of course, he is sitting at like number 2, number 3 on referral. So it's a win-win. You get 5,000 weight tokens and you help him stay at the top of the leaderboard. I don't know if anyone's going to take Crypto Copy down. He is the biggest influencer in the space. But it's nice to be sitting at number 2, number 3. So that link's in the video description. You get 5,000 weight bonus. And you can basically sign up and put fiat directly on the Pulsechain via the CST stablecoin, which is fiat back $1. So nice. Keep an eye out for the new CST versus Pulse liquidity pool on PX. And of course, PX, the fork of balancer there, the number 2 biggest protocol built on Pulsechain. Low trading fees and an easy way to buy Pulsechain. Also watch an APR over the next week. So watch out for that. Could be some nice little lucrative APR if you're interested in putting money in these kind of pools. So it's called On-Ramp Pulse, and On Pulse, that's the name of the pool. It's got 60% Pulse in it and 40% Coast or stable coins in there. Watch that thing build up. So that's pretty cool on that one. Now I'm going to put that in the chat there too if you want to check it out. But we're going to have a quick look at it myself. So Coast, bam, that is the tweet. All right, so that is the link to that one, and give them a follow as well. Support the community and share that around. Once you're signed up, get your own referral code, share it around. You get 5,000 weight tokens. They get 5,000 weight tokens. People that sign up, and of course, you help onboard capital onto Pulsechain, and capital onboarded onto Pulsechain ends up pushing up prices. Right? People buy stuff, and that's how it plays out. Now they're targeting $50 million. You can play a big role in that. I think they're well over heading towards $4 million now. So it really is a big deal there. So get into it to help support the Coast, and of course, get capital on the Pulsechain. Really is cool. what else? Let's have a look here. We've got rolling 2 weeks. So 2 more weeks is Magic Upride for the Stakehouse Hex pools. Coast is great. Will definitely save you money and steps. I'm using it when I can, says Pumpkin Owl. Nice. There's a good voucher there. Valiant says, Suitman, I think your knight might be a Hex Templar. Yeah. It is Hex Templar indeed. Magic Upride says the process for Stakehouse is private testing, then public testing, then audits approximately 2 months or so. Cool. All right. I'll add that to the link there as well. Security first says Magic Upride. Absolutely. Pumpkin Owl says the Pulsechain, the silent killer. It certainly is. It's really doing really well there as well. All right. That is the highlights there. Now we're going to have a quick look at PUX there. This is the pools at the moment. Really incredible. $36 million on here. Number 2 after Pulsex, which is about 145 million. And of course, now we've got 9-inch as well, number 3 ranking on TVL. And of course, that was a beautiful 21.4 million, which is pretty awesome. That's only going to get bigger. I can see that getting bigger. I think PUX is going to have a run for its money there. And don't forget, we've got more protocols coming, so we're going to talk about that. So looking pretty good. Let's get over to PUX. We've got the pool here for Coast. This is it here on PUX. And you can see it's currently got $5,600 in it. So watch over the next week. They said the APR. Watch the APR over the next week's 6 weeks. Next week, I should say. And the APR is at 3% at the moment. What will it be next week? Let's see. You can come back to it, give it a follow. And there is the money in there at the moment. So kind of cool. Those are volume. That's the volume, sorry, 5,600. TVL is 39,000 on the pool. There we are. And fee so far, $5.65, but it's just launched. So watch out for that one. That's going to be one to watch. All right. Now, the link to that is in the tweet that I posted there. We're going to get the Hex Day stats because we're up to now in 17 minutes. We're way overdue, but what I want to do is I want to get to the roadmap before we get the Hex stakes. So let's get to the roadmap and let's spread that out. Let's do full chart there. Add in the overlay of the roadmap. Get the secret source. Get the alpha around Pulsechain. These are the projects launching. Of course, 9-inch is still continuing its launch phase. Obviously, this is going to be even longer than the official one because they've got all the third-party projects that they're going to be doing stuff for. But the actual 9-inch launch is, coming up tomorrow with that final step for the official token launches. And then, of course, then they're going to have third-party launches. So kind of cool. 9mm, we don't know when 9mm is coming, so we're going to shift that one more day. That is coming, but we just don't know when. Sugarbeat is coming. We don't know when. That's 2 more weeks. This is a placeholder date. Sugarbeat, of course, single-side staking for Richard Hart tokens. And of course, Beat token. And of course, you're going to get something called Sweet, a token out of it. But they've got some secret source they haven't revealed yet. So we're waiting for that to launch. So keep an eye on that, folks. That could be a real nice income earner there too. Of course, that's from Beetroot, the big privacy hub with multiple utility swapping and things like that. Really great site. And in my view, underpriced. I haven't looked at the price recently, but definitely underpriced that one. Fetch Oracle coming up. That is the big event. I've got it here as a placeholder on the 10th of November. That's my placeholder date. That's when I expect it to potentially launch, of course. And then, of course, that's going to unleash some of the other biggest ecosystems on Pulsechain. Liquid Loans, of course, the biggest sacrifice project, over $50 million, bringing multiple very important utilities, including Fetch Oracle to Pulsechain, collateralizing Pulse, and, of course, bringing USDL, our second stable coin, and, of course, the first of a liquidity fork. Going to be pretty impressive. I've got Barista here at the moment. I don't know if that's the time. But Magic Upride, how's that? That's my time there. Just got a day after Liquid Loans. It's just a placeholder. But, of course, that's going to be built on top of Liquid Loans there as a front end. And, of course, you're going to be able to get Bean token as well. Hope you guys are mining your Bean on testnet V4 at the moment. You never know your luck there, apparently, from the team. Then we've got Power City. Power City coming after that. And I've got that a week gap, but that could launch anytime in here. But I've got that a week behind. That is the Earn protocol. There's a fork as well. They'll be needing to use Fetch Oracle, but they also have their own internal Oracle, which is really centralized. So they're waiting for the decentralized. So we're watching that. This could be earlier than this, but I got this at the end of November. So Liquid Loans, 18th of November. We will see. These are placeholder dates, but just kind of logically flying after the Fetch Oracle. You'd expect the Fetch Oracle to be tested for a week or two. So that is kind of the play. They've got it tested for a week and then another week to add on Pulsex and other things. For Power City. So we'll see. This is a indicative timeline that I've put together. PulsePot, of course, 2nd of December, also needing to use the Fetch Oracle, the world's first peer-to-peer crypto casino, obviously on BNB already, but coming to Pulsechain and other MEV chains. Then we've got, of course, Randy Alaski's project there on 9-inch coming. That's the 15th of December. That is pretty much a expected date rather than a placeholder date. And then TYZZ. is expected to be 2 months. So now a New Year's surprise. So I've got that here on the 1st of January for TYZZ. And this thing here could be the real secret sauce. It could be amazing. Taking on Binance DEX, we could potentially, I don't know what this is going to have. I'm speculating, but if you want to find out what it could have and get into our Discord, the link's in the video description for the secret sauce. But this could be a big deal. And it's going to be pretty much probably the smartest dev out there. And yeah, that's saying something because we've got a lot of smart devs. And so we're going to be looking forward to that. He could be game changing a lot of stuff in that space. Get into our Discord to find out the secret sauce. All right. I think that's pretty cool. Let's get into the final thing here. Hex.com. Check it out. Get your Hex and burn it for T-shares and start mining Hex with your T-shares. Earlier pays better, longer pays better, and bigger pays better. Those are the 3 ways to get more T-shares and, of course, get more Hex. So remember that. All right. Let's get into it. Day 14 and 29. We're going to go through this really quickly. 31st of October, the end of October. Can you believe it? We're in November already. 00879, so 87 from a penny. Price down 2.3 cents on Ethereum. We got the payout per T-share, 6.66 Hex per T-share. The share rate, no change, 30,179. Now remember, earlier pays better, so the share rate will be jumping 1,400 Hex per T-share on the 22nd of November. So get your T-shares before then because you'll be paying a lot more for them. It's only going up and to the right. Remember that share rate. Average mine length, 7.7 years. 7.07 years is the average mine length on Pulsechain for existing T-shares, and of course 39% APY as well for existing T-shares. Let's go to the ownership pool. 3,200 T-shares down. We're sitting at 9,754,000 T-shares. Remember, this used to be up at around about 11.2 million. It's now down at 9.7. So the ownership pool is shrinking. The reward pool getting bigger. So if you're in the ownership pool and you're getting more. You're getting more, baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah. That's all we can say about that. The lock percentage of coins, 9.34% of all Hex is locked on the Ethereum chain. Pretty modest penalties today. We've got 65 million in the reward pool. The growth numbers, we're up 7 liquid holders today, and we're up 2 miners to 119,858. So that is day 1429, the end of October on the old Ethereum. Looking to day, what day was it? I got to remember what day it was. We go have a look here. Day 172. So day 172 on Pulsechain, 31st of October, and we had the price at 1.4 cents, up 1.2%. So nice work there on Pulsechain. Share rate up 7 there. The payout today, 7.07. It's been amazing. Look at this, 3 days, 7 over 7. Beautiful, beautiful. And 4 out of the last 10 days have been over 7 Hex per T-share. So fantastic stuff there. Get those T-shares, folks. It really is amazing. Up 7 on the share rate there, the 30,184. The average mining length on the old Pulsechain, 6.85 years. So it is shorter than on Ethereum. The APY looking spectacular at 40%, looking really, really good. And of course, what else there? Let's look at the ownership pool. T-shares are up 540. We've got 9,827,000 T-shares on Pulsechain. So more than there is on Ethereum. Looking at the lock percentage of coins, 9.72% of all Hex is locked on the Pulsechain. Big penalties today, 9.5 million penalties. And that means the reward pool's got 69.6 million Hex in it. Fantastic. Congratulations, T-share miners. But look at these rewards over the last 10 days on Pulsechain. It's been insane. Look at these rewards. They're huge. They're penalties, and they just get added to your yield. Wow. Just absolutely last 10 days have actually been crushing it for T-share miners. Amazing. Now, we're at 54 liquid holders on the Pulsechain. We're down 60 miners at the moment. So we've had obviously some big, related to these penalties, we've probably got some big miners coming out there too. But we're at 124,483 miners, which is about 5,000 more than there is on Ethereum. So pretty amazing results. We just started day 1430 on Ethereum and day 173 on Pulsechain. Hex.com, of course, check it out. Do your own due diligence, not financial investment advice. But if you do have any questions, get into our Discord because we have the only, as far as I know it, the only crypto helpline that the community helps. You go to Telegram, you go to other places, no one's going to help you. You know, they'll just say, why are you asking me a question, man? I've got to do some stuff. But on our Discord, people get and help you. It really is a key defining feature in our Discord. We have all the information, early intel, covering all the projects. Got the best community. We've got a leadership team in there that really cares. And, of course, we've got a crypto helpline. What more can you ask for? So join the Discord. Links in the video description. And get in there, folks. Whee! Party time. All right. Let's see what else we got there. We got Pulsedemic in the house there. Hi, guys. Good to see you, Pulsedemic. Barista is in our audit, says Magic Cut Right. Nice. We got DHex as well. Let's go Hexco, says DHex. Absolutely. Power City Lookout, Power City Sacrifice. We'll see what token also earn. Yeah, that's correct. And they've already had the Portal X up as well, earning fees for months now, right? Portal X. So there must be quite a little bag of gold there sitting for Power City Sacrifices already, which is pretty amazing. Christian says, yes, sir. I got my Boostalo beans. Hope that we get blessed. Yeah, for sure. Bean, says Magic Ride. Yeah. So if you're not mining Bean on the Barista front end for liquid loans on testnet, Pulsechain testnet v4, I suggest you do so because it could be good. Could be good. And in case you're going to learn how the protocol works, which is probably is important there. I don't know what Wookie's got 7 on there for, but anyway. All right. And now in 26 minutes, we've got to finish. But what an epic live stream. Hope you guys enjoyed. We did a pretty full coverage, man. This is it on Hex Token, Superman Crypto, and of course Pulsechain YouTube. Subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, all that good stuff. Get in Discord. Use some of the links in the Discord. Some of them aren't mine, and so yeah, get in there and support the channel. Hope you guys are enjoying it. Pulsechain is just ramping up. Everything is lining up. All the stars are aligning. It's going to be epic. All right, let's play out some cool music on the way out. Where should we go here? Let's do it. All right, let's okay. I was going to shock you first, but we'll leave that. I'll leave that out for maybe another day. I won't shock you today, but we'll put that out. All right, there we go. Bam. Peace out. Bye for now.
Wearing my $3,000 Valentino Rockstud purse, my $3,000 Prada jacket, $2,000 Prada shirt, $2,000 or $3,000 Prada pants, Prada glasses, Prada hat, Prada bracelet, and it's all Prada, 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 Prada shirt, Prada hat, Prada glasses, Prada pants, and it's all nylon, so the haters' tears fall right off. Prada, 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 Prada shirt, Prada hat, Prada glasses, Prada pants, and it's all nylon, so the haters' tears fall right off.
Lil Bubble, let me ride that rocket.